Namaste, sir. On behalf of Krishnu Academy YouTube channel, we welcome you. We, uh,
Thank you.
we welcome Mr. Ashish Somaya, MD and CEO of Motilal Oswal Mutual Fund. He has over 18 years of experience in the industry. He holds a bachelor degree of engineering and a master degree in finance from NMIMS Mumbai. Sir, welcome again, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
And sir, I have seen from the information, and thanks to my RM, they regularly update me. We got an information that you have come out with a blast SIP, which is name itself, it is a master blast. So we would like to know what is the futures of this master blast and why master blast in this current condition, sir.
Yeah. So actually, typically what happens is that SIPs are considered to be a very, very strategic kind of investment, where we tell people to do SIPs for a perpetual time frame, over a long period to meet their goals. And those all SIPs are done from perspective of planning for future goals. Now, what is happening I have noticed in the last 1.5 month that a lot of investors, mature investors, smart investors, they understand that for some odd reason, because of this COVID-19 and the economic impact, the stock market has fallen very, very sharply and very, very rapidly. So people do have this sense that, after a month, 2 months, 3 months, eventually things will normalize, life will come back, the economy will also start returning. And they realize that somehow there has to be a way to take opportunity of this big fall in the market. And in the first few weeks of our interactions, we kept telling people that you should not do lump sum, don't jump in, we don't know how much is the impact on the economy, you should invest but you should go slow. All these things we keep talking, but how do you give a message very clearly? So that's why we coined this term, which is actually called short blast SIP.
Okay.
So normally your SIP should continue. But right now, if you want to take benefit of this situation, what happens is that there is no facility at our end which was allowing people to register an SIP for 6 months. See, normally all the SIPs we are registering are 3 years, 5 years, perpetual, etc. There is no SIP for 6 months. We didn't have anything like that. And specific to the current scenario or to the current occasion, we are telling people that from now till September, October, if you spread your funds, you will somewhere catch the bottom. That is our sense, because it's not otherwise possible to catch the bottom. So first, you must have seen, we also did some TV campaign which says that you cannot catch the bottom of the market. And then we realized that, the best way to do it is to have this short blast SIP, which is a unusual SIP done only for 6 months, which is more tactical in nature for the current scenario.
That's very good, sir. That my next question is connected to this question only. See, Nifty is struggling to overcome 9,400 levels. It touches that level. People say it will touch 10,000 on blah, 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 but nothing is happening. Whatever stimulus the government is trying to give to, but market is not taking it, considering that level. What do you advocate equity at this level? If yes, which fund? And if no, what we should do?
No, so I definitely don't advocate equity as a lump sum. The reason being that the particular scenario which we find ourselves in, we don't know what's the actual impact on the economy and the companies. And there is no way to know unless the first quarter of FY21, which ends on 30th June. And then, over the next 3 months after that, like July, August, September, I'm told even result declarations might get delayed this time. So July, August, September, October, whenever, over the next 6 months only we'll come to know what is the real impact on the economy. So I'm not trying to gauge that whether 7600 was the bottom or 9400 we will cross, etc. My sense is that, this 10% swings in a matter of few days, market goes up 10%, then it falls 10%. My sense is these kind of swings will be the order of the day, because someday some news comes, then somebody says vaccine is introduced, some news comes. So that's why the market is keeps going all over the place. So first point is no lump sum, according to me. Second point is that at the same time, when this kind of depressing scenario comes, when there are exciting scenarios, market overshoots on the upside. When there are depressing scenario comes, market undershoots on the downside. You are finding some great companies which have fallen 50-60%. You are finding some great mid-cap companies which are actually sector leaders, and they are also down 50-60%. So it is definitely a good time to start your investment journey, and that is why we are recommending to people that your other normal course can continue, but for this particular tenure, you should spread money in the next 6 months. That is what we are suggesting. And on your other question, I am very passionate about. I do believe that mid caps can make a lot of money, not because they are that particular cap. It's not about the cap of mid cap or small cap. The point is that in our country, a lot of sector leaders are mid cap companies. All these famous companies we keep speaking about, the Batas and the Voltas of the world, or the nowadays a company which became very famous like Ipca Laboratories for making so much of hydrochloroquine, you know and then say Max Life Insurance and all. So whether it is insurance, whether it is pharmaceutical, whether it is auto ancillary for that matter, whether it is white goods, FMCG, many sector leaders happen to be mid cap companies. So if we have a bias that mid cap is, I tell people a lot of times on a lighter note that the company doesn't know what cap you are calling it. So the company doesn't know you are calling it mid cap. So they will do as per their fundamentals. It's for us to make the right investment. So you should split between large cap and mid cap. That's how I would put it.
Sir, as per your fund house assessment, because your fund house is very popular in doing all the research and they have so many years. Post COVID, what is the three sectors which you love the most and least three?
Yeah.
Up three and bottom
So
three.
I will put it, sure. Uh, I'll put it this way that one of the things which is slightly counterintuitive or which is non-consensus or which people actually don't believe in. My personal opinion or my fund house, actually in our meetings we discuss, our sense is that automobile as a sector, post this COVID-19 normalization, automobile as a sector is going to bounce back. Reason for this is very simple. Reason is not just because of COVID, because of COVID, people say that, people would love to have their own transportation, whether it's a small car, two-wheeler, whatever it is. So from that perspective, I have read articles which say that people would like to buy vehicles. But even beyond that, I have a different view beyond that. My sense is that as soon as we are out of this COVID-19, banks have no choice but to lend. See, what is the current scenario? Even in the current scenario, all of us are keeping money in the bank. The bank has to pay us interest. If nothing, they have to pay you 3-4% for your saving bank. But they have no opportunities to lend. RBI has brought interest rates very low. The system is flush with liquidity. And you know that banks cannot thrive unless and until they lend. And right now we're in a scenario where deposit base is rising, deposit growth is there, deposits abundant is there, liquidity is there, but there is no lending which is happening. Now, if they don't lend, their net interest margins will fall. If they don't lend, then arithmetically their NPS can also go up. So we feel that banks would lend, and they have no choice but to lend aggressively. And I have seen this twice in the past. 2003, I remember home loan rate became 7%. Even right now, as we speak, State Bank's home loan rate is 7.3, 7.4.
Correct.
In 2008-9 also home loan rate went to 8 or below. So my sense is that whenever there is a crisis, eventually loan rates come very low, liquidity becomes very high, and banks would like to lend. So now industrial sectors, bank can lend only if they want to take. You can't call up an industrialist and force him to lend. But if Mr. Bhatt is sitting in a meeting, you can still make him 4 phone calls and say, sir, please take personal loan, please take home loan, please take auto loan.
Right.
You must have experienced this, that you keep getting calls.
Frequently.
So frequently, yeah. So, look at it this way, that if asset prices are 20, 30, 40% down and interest rates are at historic low and liquidity is abundant, then all those items which are dependent on credit availability and interest rate, those items will some lag effect, but eventually those items will. So that's why I feel that auto is a consumer discretionary which depends heavily on availability of finance and interest rates. And I'm sure there are discounts, etc., also which are prevailing. So I would say that that is one area. So consumer discretionary would include auto, white goods, those kind of things. Second is that there is always this pent-up demand, because these are sectors where demand doesn't get destroyed. Demand can only get postponed. That is one. The second, I think, is insurance. My sense is awareness and willingness and need will go up. Not only that, insurance premiums will go up. I am not qualified to make a guess on the mortality, but I do believe that insurance premiums and the offtake for insurance both will actually go up. So these are, I would say, these are the things which might work out quite well. telecom, etc., my sense is it will also go up, because not only because of COVID-19, I think it will hasten the launch of or implementation of 5G at some point in time. It brings toward the saliency of telecom, their pricing power would go up. The sector has already consolidated. So these are few things. As far as the negatives are concerned, I think anything which is dependent heavily on government spending, because the government's finances are definitely stretched at this point in time. So within the government scheme of things, anything which is financed, anything which is dependent on government financing, anything which is dependent on heavy investment from the government of India, my sense is those are the things which would be slightly under stress. Anything which depends on global commodities, these kind of things would be under a bit of a stress, because the whole world, the globe itself is, going through a stress. So this is the, I've given you a long answer, but this is just a gist of it.
It makes sense, sir. As you rightly said, automobile, it is last 1 year, we have not seen big this thing on automobile. And after once COVID is through, all people, everybody cannot go by a bus. There will be one seat will be always no sitting place. And I think buses will have one seater, not 2+3, like that it will not be have. It will have 2+2, it may be. Even the next seat, the person cannot sit. There will be a one empty seat. And people cannot stand and go. If they cannot go to the office comfortably, they will go for a two-wheeler, which will happen, as you rightly placed out. So more requirement of automobile, like two-wheelers, like cars, may come in.
And what you just mentioned, actually, I would to support your point, there is just some statistics I want to say. You mentioned that last 1.5 year there has been a suppression of demand for automobiles. Some parts of the country had floods, and there was road tax and registration and insurance, all cost got escalated. Then we had to wait for BS4 to BS6 transition. Do you know that 50% of all cars are bought by new buyers? But it's equally true that 50% of all cars are replacement related.
Okay.
And the second thing is, on an average, the cycle is that 4.5 years a car gets replaced. But right now that cycle has been pushed to more than 5 years, which means that there is pent up demand. People like you and me, or lots of people who own these hundreds of thousands of cars which are running on our roads, whoever wants to replace has been postponing their decision. And I think few days later, plus I'm not a qualified person to comment on this, but we keep repeatedly hearing that the government of India has to review GST on cars, because it's not a luxury item that everything should be charged 28% GST. So cement is also 28% GST. These are essential items where we are charging 28% GST. So I would say that some of these things can potentially change. One can't speculate, but yes, it's primed for a move.
And automobile industry, one, and the other part, the battery industry also. Because I've seen in my colony, in my area where I am, I see most of the people now, this thing is getting, they're allowing the car to take over, but car is not starting. So since car is not starting, because they have kept it locked for 2.5 months, now they want to change the battery. So battery industry will do good, connectedly. Same way, see, Amara Raja battery and all, they're going to have huge business, because two-wheelers, these guys kept the two-wheelers and lock and key, and now they are taking it, it is not starting in the morning. They are taking it to the battery vendor immediately changes the battery. He's telling battery is down, you need to change the battery. So battery change is happening. And same time, one more thing is, lot of like this connected, one by one. So automobile, I totally agree with you. Good days there coming in for automobiles, sir. Thank you, sir. And sir, there is a scare among investors and advisors that every quarter, whenever result comes in, market always this way, that way. Now result is going to come for the quarter ended first quarter, that is from April to June, which we are going to get it from July first week onwards. Maybe, as you said, it may be delayed till August, possible. But when the results comes in, people normally, any channel, any TV channel or anyone, they compare with the previous quarter or last same quarter. When the comparison takes place, what will be there will be a big volatility in the market immediately, even though may not be after later day, 2 days, 3 days, it will all sustain. But the initial 3 days, the volatility, will it have a big impact on the market?
Yeah. No, you're right in asking this because it will definitely be so. That's why even I mentioned about the short blast SIP and all. That's why I am also telling people not to do lump sum investment. There are two perspectives to this. Let's look at the first perspective. The first perspective is that it's a very well-known fact. People who follow these financial valuations and the arithmetic behind it, they always say that when a company is quoted in the market basis its market capitalization, the market value, it is expected that bulk of the market value is derived from the future earnings potential of a company. So how much profits a company can generate in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 years, that is what determines the market capitalization. That's why I'm repeating that the market cap represents the future earnings power. Now, for 1 quarter of disruption, and 1 quarter of disruption can actually result in 1 full year of earnings getting wiped out because companies don't have so much margin that for 3 months there is no revenue and they will still be profitable.
Correct.
So, for 1 quarter, 1 year profit or more can get wiped out. Now, the point is that if we genuinely know and we believe that bulk of the future value, bulk of the market cap depends on the future earnings power, then for 1 quarter or 1 year of disruption, how much market cap should be lost? Should it be 50%? Should it be 40%? Should it be 60%? Bulk of the companies have fallen 40-50%. So this is one perspective to keep in mind. The other perspective is directly related to your question that whatever science I may speak about valuations, the fact is that when the news comes, some people in the market will be positively surprised and some people will be negatively surprised. Some companies themselves will give us a positive surprise and some companies will give us a negative surprise. Also keep in mind that when these companies publish their results, they also give some commentary and some guidance. I think results will not be important. When, let us say in July, August or September, somebody is reporting their numbers for first quarter, they will definitely say in the first quarter was bad. But then they will also say that, okay, now that we have exited, by then hopefully the lockdown will be over. So you will have enough news which says that is the demand, at what rate is the demand resuming? How are consumers behaving? All those, whatever we are talking, some of the things I mentioned to you, I'm saying hypothetical things, but is my hypothesis right or wrong? In the next 3 to 4 months, you will know, and market will react to those things. So I have no doubt that there'll be volatility. That is precisely the reason why I have also been telling people that you spread the investment in 6 months, don't try to jump in. That's the main point.
Sir, the next question is not for me, for the distributors friends across the country, because I am already benefited. So let my fellow IFA friends across the country also get benefited. The question is, why Motilal Oswal? Why Motilal Oswal? Motilal Oswal, what is the best in Motilal Oswal? How do you cherry pick the companies? Which is the fund? Is among your funds, which is the fund which is closest to your heart?
So actually, what is unique is three things. One thing which is unique is it's a fully 100% equity house. Second thing which is unique is that after being a 100% equity house, it's not even that there are multiple strategies. There is only one strategy, which we call high quality, high growth. In the last 2 years, there has been clearly a challenge because if you're a growth oriented investor, but the Nifty earning growth is practically zero, GDP grows at 4%. And years like now, there is actually no growth, forget it, there is negative growth, right? So even the growth oriented companies start becoming valuable companies at these points in time. So clearly last 2 years has been very difficult for us. The execution and the performance has not been up to the mark. Like I joined here in the end of 2012. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 until mid 2018 was spectacular for us. I would say specifically last 18 months has been a challenge because, financial services exposure has not worked well. Auto exposure has not worked well. So these are the challenges. But there are 2-3 things to keep in mind. One is that any fund house, the market has a tendency to rotate in and out of favor of certain stocks, sectors, and styles of investing. So we are only equity. Within equity, it's a single philosophy. We'll do our best to keep executing as per that particular philosophy. And the last thing to keep in mind is that whatever we are saying, we are practicing, because I don't know how many of our partners here know that we were managing, say, February and it was 40,000 crores. And then March end, there was a mark to market, so it became 32,000 crores. But on a base of 40,000 crores, 2,500 crores was our own money. Mr. Motilal Oswal, Mr. Ramdev Agarwal, my asset management company had 350 crores invested every year, every month. Whatever fees my company earns is invested in our own funds. Then Motilal Oswal Financial Services, which is a listed company, that was value was over 1,000 crores invested. So totally 25 to 2,600 crores of our own corpus was invested and is still invested in our own funds. So we sink and sail with our investors and with our channel partners. If our funds don't do well, the first person to get hurt is us. And like recently, Motilal Oswal Financial Services published its annual results. So in our annual results also, while operating basis there was a profit, but on a financial basis there was a reported loss. So on a social media or somewhere, somebody asked us. In fact, somebody made a comment on social media that these guys are an equity management house and how are they managing? They themselves have made loss. So I replied to that person that this loss is like a medal for me. The loss is like a trophy for us because it actually proves that when our investors have a mark to market, our own portfolios also have a mark to market. It's a trophy for me because it shows you that our own money is invested in equity. So obviously when the market falls and our investors' value falls, what is the doubt that our own value will also fall? So that has to be seen positively, not negatively.
Salute to you, sir. That's really good, sir. Good to hear. How many people invest their own money in their own fund house? I've not seen much. Really appreciate that, sir.
Actually, people don't do in equity. People don't do in equity. That's the whole point.
They keep the money that it is in the liquid part, not in the equity part.
Yes.
Sir, how do you see the market after? This is a popular question. Every IFA in the country would love to hear. That too from the horse's mouth. Sir, how do you see the market after a proper vaccine is found for COVID-19? Do you see a V-shaped recovery or a U-shaped recovery or a L-shaped recovery?
No, I will be in the camp which believes that, it's very difficult to have a V-shape where the apex is absolutely pointed. That's not going to happen. But in some form or shape, it has to be a V-shaped recovery. I'll tell you the reason for this. The reason is that this is a supply side issue, right? Also keep in mind that it may not sound great, but the fact is that the proportion of the consuming class in the country, which determines the demand for most of the goods, everything is not urban. And the rural, if you see the government's so-called stimulus, everything is focused on the rural part of the economy, right? So there are different products for which different emanates from different sections of the population, and we have to see it on a sector by sector, company by company basis. If we generalize, then we will not be able to find the winners. So my sense is that it's a supply side shock. Eventually things will start to normalize. The only sad part about this is that the strongest of companies which do not have leverage, which are well capitalized, they will become stronger. When there is a disastrous situation like this, what will happen is that you are in a scenario where even the leader is not able to do business. Now when the leader is not able to do business, you imagine what happens to player number 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, right? So what will happen is that the strong will become stronger. In every sector you have to be with the leaders. That's why even on your large cap, mid cap question, I said that let's forget about the cap. Let's look at the leaders of every sectors. So my sense is that we will have a recovery. We'll make a lot of money, but we have to be with leaders. And the last thing I'll tell you, as far as your market view is concerned, I like to read about Howard Marks. He wrote recently, he said that when the market is at the peak, then everybody is looking for opportunities. And when market hits the bottom, people get scared and everybody is looking for the risks. He said it's a completely wrong logic. When you have made a lot of money and when market is at a peak, you should be trying to identify what risks can materialize. After all the known and unknown risks have already materialized and you lost a lot of money and the market comes to bottom, now what is the use looking for risk? Now you have to look for opportunities. So what has happened in India is that, forget even COVID-19, before this, in the last 2 years, because of the government actions, RBI actions, multitude of things, there is a massive cleanup now. And this COVID-19 is probably the last straw on the camel's back. Anybody who has a weak business model, anybody who is not conforming to the laws of the land, I don't think these people will be able to make it. So massive cleanup has happened. From here, you can only go one way, which is up. And the strong players are actually going to make a lot of money. So I would put it this way, let's not look at the rearview mirror. A new journey is starting. It is up to us now how we would like to participate. So start with a clean slate. If we keep seeing the rearview mirror, then we will never be able to drive forward.
Fantastically put, sir. Fantastically put. Especially it is between now. So it will be neither we or you. It will be between you and we.
Exactly. Exactly. Because this COVID-19 is a few weeks or few months problem. This is not a 2-year, 3-year, 5-year, 10-year. Look, unfortunately, there was a terror attack. Yes, there was a terror attack. People thought that how can we ever go to a hotel, man? Every hotel people can enter and shoot 20 people. But it's not happened, right? Because the human race learned from that day. You cannot enter a hotel now without having your bags checked or your physical scan, right? So people will get used to it. The solutions will come. And, weather patterns change, immunity develops. So many things happen. I think people will learn to live with it and we will move forward.
Excellent, sir. Excellent, sir. Sir, now to end with, your guidances to all mutual fund distributors across the country during this lockdown condition. As I always used to say, the most affected is Mumbai and Chennai in the country, where even in IPL, Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings are always playing. Like that, we are also struggling here also. That way it is. So in this condition, what is your advice to the fellow distributors? There are many struggling. Forget about people who are above 20 crores, but people who are below 20 crores, they are really struggling. Your guidance to them to how to focus on more business and develop and come back, bounce back with 50 crores and 100 crores AEM, your guidance to them will be highly appreciated, sir.
Yeah. So there is one thing, when market hits absolutely at a bottom, there is one interesting thing that every rupee that you source of AUM is worth 2 or 3 rupees potentially. Because the good part is that when the market is down, our assets depreciate. But at this time, if 1 rupee comes in, then in a matter of 2-3 years, it can become 2 rupees. If it compounds at 25%, it becomes 2 rupees in 3 years.
Exactly.
So this is a time to, where, we should be willing to put more effort. I have personally done, I'm not talking about group meetings, I have personally done at least 4 to 5 Zoom calls and video and webinars for IFAs from Chennai who have got 20, 50, 100 customers on the video call. I have done that for people from Delhi, for people from Bombay. So we are here, we are willing to talk to as many people and give the right messages. Because let me tell you one thing, that whether it is our distribution partners and even customers, this is not about arithmetic and logic and rationality. Right now is a time when people would be having stress. People are most prone to react emotionally. So this is a time to be in touch with people. This is a time to keep talking to people. And if we are able to help people to go through these next 2-3 months, then I think that, there is a lot to be made out of this. So whether it is me towards my channel partners or it is the channel partners towards their consumers, I just feel that you should not nobody should hopefully get stuck thinking too much about today, tomorrow, next 1 month and next 2 months. We just have to live through it, because the people who live through it without taking anything negatively as far as emotions or as far as their conduct is concerned, if they are able to go through this without getting stuck, then on the other side, I think there is a lot to be gained. That is how I would actually put it. See, a lot of times when I watch a lot of cricket, and a lot of times in cricket matches, the commentator says, sometimes there is a low scoring match where the pitch is very, very tricky. So I have seen many times the commentator or the analyst, they say that if they play till the last over, they will win. So this is about being, This is about being on the pitch. This
Correct.
is not about hitting sixers. This is not a time to hit sixers. You stay in the game. Like same way, instead of cricket, if you talk about tennis, in tennis they say that keep the ball in the court, don't make unforced errors. So these are the times for just sticking to it. Us holding hands with our partners holding hand with customers, and we can also help them. But I think people who don't react and who keep the sanity, they will actually come out winning.
Thank you very much for your 30 minutes with Krishnu Academy today, sir. That was wonderful. And especially I love stay in the pitch. It's fantastic because every rupee made by them today, because I have experienced that in the 2008 fall, the 2008 and 9, we worked harder and harder. We brought in more money, which is all double now. So they are going to, it's a best chance for them to double their AUM faster is bring in more money now. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your guidance. Appreciate your 30 minutes.
One thing I just want to...
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I was just saying, sorry to interrupt you before we close. I just wanted to make one point.
Yes, sir.
We have to tell people straight away. I tell a lot of customers that I know you're not happy with the last 3 months or the last 1 year or whatever it may be. But let me tell you one thing straightforward and as honestly as I can say. If you put money in the good times and you hold back in the bad times, you cannot create wealth. Now, you know, we can keep going round and round and give long speeches to people, but this is the ultimate reality. That is what I want to just remind.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time again.